We take a look at our current exchange rates that are on the market. The United States dollar is buying at 24 kwacha 35 ngwe and selling at 24 kwacha 75 ngwe. The Great British Pound is buying at 33 kwacha 13 ngwe and selling at 33 kwacha 20 ngwe. The euro is buying at 28 kwacha 51 ngwe and selling at 28 kwacha 57 ngwe. The South African rand is buying at 1 kwacha 36 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha 37 ngwe. And we take a look at some stories that are making headlines in the world of business on the local and international market. Now, on the local front, the Road Transport and Safety Agency RATSA has announced a 1 kwacha reduction in bus fares following the recent fuel price cut by the Energy Regulation Board ERB. However, this fare reduction applies only to local bus routes in Lusaka, the Copperbelt and other towns. No reduction has been affected for intermine and intercity routes. The ERB recently reduced the price of petrol from 31 kwacha 36 ngwe to 28 kwacha and diesel from 25 kwacha 12 ngwe to 23 kwacha 13 ngwe. Kerosene also saw a drop from 24 kwacha 79 ngwe to 21 kwacha 98 ngwe, and Jet A1 from 27 kwacha 8 ngwe and 23 kwacha 94 ngwe. The drop in fuel prices led various stakeholders to demand a reduction in transport fares in order to benefit of the fuel price and their cut to reach their commuters. And in a statement yesterday, we see how RATSA had announced a 1 kwacha reduction in bus fares. In more stories, we see how the Ministry of Finance says the Treasury released 22.9 billion kwacha in June 2025, of which 11 billion kwacha was spent on debt service and 5.1 billion kwacha was released for the public service bill, among others. In a statement on Wednesday, the ministry stated that out of the 11 billion kwacha spent on debt, 4.7 billion kwacha service, 5.8 billion kwacha went to external debt service, and 593 kwacha was used for dismantling arrears owed to suppliers of goods and services. Now, in June 2025, the Treasury released 22.9 billion kwacha to finance public service delivery. Of this amount, 5.1 billion kwacha was released to the public service wage bill, 11 billion kwacha was spent on debt servicing for domestic and external, and some of the arrears, 3.7 billion kwacha, was also allocated to those that were needed in the bill allocation. In some international stories, we see how Kellogg shares soar as reports of Ferrero takes over in the talks. Now, shares in the U.S. maker of Kellogg's cornflakes have soared after reports of chocolate giant Ferrero is close to buying the firm for about $3 billion. A takeover deal for Kellogg's, which make Fruit Loops and Rice Krispies breakfast cereals for the North American market, could come to see as soon as this week, the Wall Street Journal and Financial Times reported. The Italian owner of the Ferrero Rocher, Kinder and Tic Tac brands have also been expanding in recent years, buying Nestle's confectionery business and several other food firms. WK Kellogg's and Ferrero did not immediately respond, but we see how shares surged by more than 56% in extended trading in New York on Wednesday after the report. The deal could be worth or double the firm's $1.5 billion stock market value when ordinary trading has actually ended. Now, it would see Ferrero take over a dominant position in the U.S. breakfast cereal market, and we see how this firm has had one of the chocolate markets or biggest players in the chocolate market. Convenience food firms are facing major challenges as customers shift to bigger and healthier options, which has forced them to change what they operate. Companies have also seen their costs rise, which, has forced some of the firms to put up with the prices. The industries have also come under pressure from the Trump administration, which has targeted artificial coloring in brands like Fruit Loops as part of its Make America Healthy Again campaign. Kellogg said it will remove the synthetic colors from cereals eaten in schools by 2026 to 2027 school year. But it is not or has not yet set a timeline for taking them out of the cereals sold to the general public. These are some of the stories that we had for you on the Business Snapshot this particular afternoon. Good afternoon.
The Business Snapshot on 88.5 Sun FM.
It's the FIFA Club World Cup semi-finals on Top Star.